we are live, everybody, and boy, you'd love to be in the background of today. Let me tell you, we're a technical 4.5-year mess where we are, and call the Undertaker because it happened today, everybody.
Oh no!
I joined AARP.
Hey.
You know what? Who could pass up the deal? $45 for 5 years. My wife gets in free, and as a free gift, you get a decorative glass jar for all your gallstones.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You get a decorative glass jar for what? Because I'm not quite ready.
All your gallstones.
Oh man, that's funny. Let's start the show.
Yeah, that was hilarious the second time.
Since 2020, we've done plenty of virtual comedy shows online, and though the virus is slowing, we'll keep going because we've still got lots of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin.
Welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. It's a Zoom meeting with jokes. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, unless you have barking dogs or a rabid moose in your living room, in which case, please mute yourself for Pete's sake, and let's have some fun.
It's the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Steve Goodie and Brad Tassell. Tonight, Steve and Brad welcome comedian
Tim Cavanaugh.
plus funny songs from
Tim Cavanaugh.
and a patty melt from Patti Vasquez, and much, much more. Now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
I hope you're good. You know, welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. I think tonight we're going to disprove the old saying, the show must go on. I think we need to maybe just let it not go on. Tim Cavanaugh's look what happened there. My button broke. Okay, that's
What kind of show
no problem. Oh, great.
malfunction.
Oh, my God. What?
Can you still
What'd you
hear me?
see?
This is
Oh, my
Tim
God.
Cavanaugh.
Steve knows how to sew it on. And
Yes,
So
I
not
do.
only was Tim Cavanaugh, he's our guest, our singer, and our comedian, but we can't get him to work very well. So good. Well, welcome. So in addition to
great.
that, we of course have Patti Vasquez, who's always perfect. Yay. And Steve Goodie, who's also here and picked me up from the airport today. So that was nice. Wasn't that my 24-hour journey across? And we can't wait to hear you, Tim, even if it's sans guitar.
Thank you. If you can still hear me.
We can hear
I
you.
can still hear
We
you.
can hear you.
All right, good.
Just do everything you've done 40 times in a row on Bob and Tom. I think that's
All
exactly.
right,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm planning on doing.
That's a fantastic idea. Why didn't we think of that?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
It works for Bob and
All
no
right, I'm-
Tom. It'll work for us.
It's the Brad and Steve Radio Hour.
That's right. Hey, we could do radio. We could do it. So anyway, and yes, everybody who's been following me, which is nobody, I got home this afternoon after leaving Cartagena, Colombia at 1 p.m. yesterday.
Wow.
I left Cartagena, then I went to Bogota, Colombia, then I went to New York City and wasn't offered drugs till Nashville. So figure that out. You know, and I have to say that so many people complain. Like I travel quite a bit, as you may know, and people complain all the time about going to these other countries and they're trying to get gouged. The taxi driver's trying to gouge you. The guy selling the thing is trying to gouge you. And yes, look, the taxi driver I took yesterday in Cartagena, he did charge me double because he knew I had only 15 minutes to get to the airport and I was already 2 hours late and I had no other choice. I could have gotten it cheaper. I could have got it for half as much if I could have just found another taxi. But you know what? Even at double the price, it was still cheaper than my Starbucks order when I got to New York. You know what I mean? I took a taxi in Egypt once. My daughter and I jumped in a taxi in Cairo, and everyone told me that the taxi drivers really jack up the prices on foreigners. And oh yeah, he did, boy. He doubled it. I'm telling you, I keep paying double. You know what the original price was? 80 cents. That's what it was. He charged me $1.50. And I gave him $5. I gave him and he cried. He cried because I gave him $5. So it makes me sad. And when you go to restaurants in Mexico and other islands, people are always saying, you ever heard this? Make sure to demand the local menu because they have a tourist menu and they have a local menu, don't they? And the English menu's prices are higher. And you know what I say? They should be. They should be higher. They should be a lot higher because Americans suck. That's why we're terrible. We should be paying twice what locals are paying or more because you're not a local. And it's your job to make them glad you're there and not like in Spain where they're chasing us out, spitting and screaming, right? If they're nice, give them all the money you got. You've got the money. Give them the money. The place where they really screw you is here in the United States. I paid an extra $10 to a lady in St. Lucia who literally, hand sewed me a shirt. And it was only $13. Now compare that to I jumped in a car in Galveston to go to Houston, and it's usually $75. He demanded $350 when we got to the airport. I know. That's crazy. I know. So now I will say this. There are things I will not stand, and that is people being pushy or doing like there's a big thing they do in a lot of places now where a guy will just walk up and he'll try to pick up your bag or take your bag to carry it for you and then demand a tip. And that's when I say, no. I said, matter of fact, you'd be surprised how quickly I turn into a man who has a new puppy and expensive shoes.
Okay, who's got their radio on?
iPhone guest comes in and immediately their thing's on.
I got him.
And screwed up that joke. Thank you.
All right.
Hit the punchline.
You're doing great.
Yeah, no, it was fine until I just said drop it because you're talking to him like, okay, great. Well, screw the end of that joke and let's just move on to the regular jokes. Damn it. We had it going so good.
Mm-hmm. Best show ever.
Ban them from the show. That's right. And Tim Cavanaugh's back. I didn't know he was gone.
Oh, we might have two of him, like we said.
Hey, we might have him on the computer. So great. Well, bag this crap. Okay, here we go. Now the iPhone is joke number uno. Port workers on all coasts are threatening to strike this week, which means there could be a major disruption in goods coming into the country.
Yep.
One solution I have is just have immigrants coming across the border bring stuff with them. I see that as a win-win. Welcome in. Thanks for bringing my Tunisian rug. Now, can you work on the yard?
That's so simple.
It's so simple. They say we won't notice it first. You don't notice it first if the strike, but if it goes on too long, there'll be shortages in chocolate, booze, fruit, bananas, and cherries, meaning millions of bar mitzvahs and quinceañeras will not have a chocolate fountain. Steve, do you have a chocolate fountain at your bar mitzvah?
I don't remember. I was so drunk.
Well, you were a man. You were a man that day. Oh, man. The high stakes VP debate will be tomorrow. And by high stakes, I mean J.D. Vance will lie so much, we'll all wonder if he's high. That's how. One of the highlights will be when Tim Walz explains Kamala Harris's economic plan while setting the timing on a 64 Skylark. 3 degrees past.
Top dead center.
Top dead center. And where's that from?
Well, that's from My Cousin Vinny. Or
My Cousin Vinny, exactly.
Any auto manual, yes.
Any auto manual. All right. Hey, the V. So that's how you know how I know nothing about cars. I had to get that joke from My Cousin Vinny. I couldn't even pick a different car. I had to pick
that's right.
an actual car from Cousin Vinny.
Yeah, lime green or whatever it was. Yeah.
It would never be confused with the Corvette.
No, could never.
Never.
Meanwhile, my biological clock going like
It's
this.
ticking along.
All right.
The Utes.
2 Utes.
2 Utes. And then Herman Munster. I couldn't watch that movie and not think Herman Munster. That's all.
His law degree finally kicked in.
That's right.
Are you mocking me?
Guilty.
What? No.
This ridiculous thing just for you.
All right.
Oh, and Sulu, that was so earnest. I thought you were actually asking us that. Carry on, Brad.
Sulu's very earnest.
Yes, she is.
Yes. Ernest Goes to
important
Camp,
to be
my
earnest.
favorite film.
I got that.
Oh, good. Your dad's here. We've been vamping till your dad
Thank
gets
God. All right, let's go. Let's get real.
All right, here we go. The VP debate between Tim Walz, everyone's dad, and JD Vance, everyone's creepy uncle. will be tomorrow on CBS. CBS promises they will keep things on track and let people know they'll be fact-checking Vance's lies moment he says them by looking up uncomfortably and whistling. That's going to be their tactic. All right. Here's a really, really long one with only one punchline. Wanted to let you know. There's a new book out about the first computer dating service. Does anyone know what year the first computer dating service was?
1911.
Yes, exactly. It preempted World War I. 1965, though, actually.
That's the year I was born.
Operation Match. It was created by some Harvard classmates in 1965 as a way to meet girls. And it was super successful for everyone but the two dudes who created it, because no one was going to date those nerds. Until 1980 when they did Revenge of the Nerds. Okay. Unlike today's apps like Match and Tinder and Farmers Only, this one you filled out a really long questionnaire where a man in 1965, a man could say he would only date women who were obedient, sexy, and not smart. That was one of them. That's right. Chuck, you think you want to jump in on that? The other choice in 1965 was men could say they wanted sexy, dumb, and will tell the police she tripped.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
1965, everybody. Luckily, today, we're much more progressive than that, as now on the app, you just swipe right for yes and left for Diddy. So it's the same thing. That's the joke.
Yeah. Look who's up on the news.
Look who's up on the news. Not even news. Choi Soon-hwa, y'all know her.
I do.
Hopes to be the oldest woman to be in the Miss Universe contest at 81.
Nice.
First, couple obstacles. First, she must win Miss South Korea. And second, why am I in a bikini?
I love it.
I know. I just heard somebody saying something. Was that somebody doing? Okay, her. Okay. Oh, man. This is okay. The space race is always there. The Chinese say they will have astronauts on the moon by 2030. And if that goes well, by 2032, the moon will be where the UPS tracking number says the iPhone case you bought on Amazon 6 months ago is.
Wow.
That was a lot of words.
That was a lot.
But you get the concept. That's where.
So good.
I know.
It was.
A man walked 30 miles in Hurricane Helene. Was it Hurricane Helene? Was that what it's called?
Yeah.
I got blurry out there. I'm back. A man walked 30 miles in Hurricane Helene destruction to get to Johnson City, Tennessee, to walk his daughter down the aisle at her wedding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Upon arriving, the daughter hugged her dad and said, "Did you bring the checkbook? We still owe $3,200 for the flowers." Because that's all dad's good for.
And half our audience is saying, "What's a checkbook?"
Chuck is like, "What's a checkbook?" Chuck, you ever written a check?
No. I know what a checkbook is.
Okay.
Jeff has one.
I don't write that many myself.
You're cute.
So cute. We're hard on Chuck. We're sorry.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but she has 75, 80, 90 years to live, and the rest of us don't. If you add up all the years the rest of us have to live together, Chuck gets all those. And we're awful angry about it. A pet turtle. What? All right.
It's okay. Carry on.
A pet turtle was found alive after 30 years in the attic of the family that owned it.
Oh, wow.
Yep, 30 years. The owner said Manuela, the tortoise, finally came down from the attic after 30 years and without the chess set they sent him up there for. He's got to go back. They won't play till 2064. Oh, Pete Rose died today.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's sad.
Mhm.
Pete Rose at 83. Pete was one of the greatest players to ever play the game, but was banned, of course, from the Hall of Fame. In his final words before passing, Charlie Hustle put down 600 that said he'd beat that old bat from Downton Abbey to heaven.
God.
Oh.
Wow.
10-1. Maggie Smith's family will take that bet. That's her name, right? Maggie Smith. What was her
Yes,
name?
you got it exactly
Very
right.
good.
Well done.
Yeah. Okay, good. I went with Downton Abbey instead of McGonagall. That was smart.
Respect that.
What do we have left? 2 more. Hey, that Ryan Ralph pleaded not guilty to attempting to assassinate disgraced felon ex-president Donald Trump. Now, Ralph said he would plead guilty if before the word attempting, they put the word pathetically.
Ah.
He pathetically attempted
Mhm.
because he didn't even attempt. There was no attempt. I don't know what the hell they were talking
Who are
about.
we kidding?
He attempted to sit with a gun in a bush. That's fantastic.
And he
probably got hired to do
succeeded.
it. And lastly, and I shouldn't have put this last because I don't think there's a joke.
Right.
As Trump's crowds dwindle, the tangerine toadstool is becoming more and more unhinged. Last week at his rally, he called Kamala Harris mentally impaired, and he said that he has a much more beautiful beach body than Sleepy Joe. Picture that in your head.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Don't
Thanks,
Next week, Don will announce an even bigger lie that his crocheting makes Ella Emnoff look like an amateur and makes Janice look second
Yeah.
rate. He's not second
Hey,
rate.
I'm not that.
All right, Steve, that's the end of that. Let's.
I wasn't sure that was the end. Yay, Brad
Yes.
Tassell!
We're never sure if it's the end.
Never, ever sure. You ended
We're all
with
just hoping.
crocheting. You
We're all
ended
just-
with crocheting, but you have to admire that. Nobody ends with crocheting anymore.
Yeah, but remember, I had the joke where I did croquet and crochet a couple weeks ago.
That's true. Man, you are just up on
Wrong
all the
joke.
French words. All right. Guess what? It's time for a top 10. Let's do this.
Oh, let's do it.
Just as Brad was mentioning his concerns about being ripped off by vendors in various parts of the world, I recently had the exciting experience of trying to purchase a movie from YouTube/Google, and I paid my money, and then when I hit play on the movie, it was just a white screen from beginning to end, 2 hours and 4 minutes of nothing. So I then got to begin the exciting adventure of trying to get my money back. So tonight's top 10 category is top 10 ineffective ways to get $4.37 back from YouTube/Google. These are the ineffective ways. Number 10, politely ask for your $4.37 back via email. Number 9, impolitely ask for your $4.37 back via email. Number 8, impolitely ask for your $4.37 back via email every 2 hours, every day for a month. Number 7, agree to accept a penny a year for 437 years.
Do the math on that.
I did, thank you very much. The top 10 ineffective ways to get $4.37 back from YouTube and Google. Number 6, hire an attorney. Spend $25,000 to sue the bastards. And while you're at it, also buy a flat in Edinburgh for $250,000. While you're spending money. Number 5, try selling silver coins worth $4.37 for $100 to your crazy ex-constituents. Number 4, try to knock over Google like a gas station parking lot vending machine. Number 3, call the help number that you finally found at the bottom of the 900th page you searched and sit on hold for 4.5 billion years until the sun explodes. They tell me it will. I found that out on Google. Top 10 ineffective ways to get your $4.37 back. Number 2, the same way you got your printer working in 2011. Watch a YouTube video, get charged another $4.37, and get cyan all over your hands. I wasn't sure what the cyan was funnier than magenta. I went with cyan.
Yeah.
$4.37 back from YouTube, Google. Ask Mike Lindell and Rudy Giuliani and Alex Jones and a bunch of other broke motherfuckers. I screwed it up, didn't I? Hang on. Like I do that again.
Do it again.
And a other bunch of broke mother what they would do.
Yeah.
All that.
That was good. That was great.
It was perfect. For tonight's show, it was perfect.
You know what? You know who's perfect for any show?
Oh, I do know who's perfect for any show.
Yeah.
Patti Vasquez, everybody.
Patti Vasquez!
Yay!
Yay.
Hi, was that a new hat?
No, it's an old one. I don't know if I've worn it recently, but I have my comment button right there.
You put your Kamala button on there.
Kamala.
So before we start, how do you think it's going?
It's
My internet is
with courts and things. What?
My internet is screwed up. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm more worried about what they're doing in courts and trying to have false electors and the college. I'm more worried about that than I am about our enthusiasm and popularity. So that's the best.
I'm mostly worried about the cutting 740,000 people from the North Carolina voter rolls.
Exactly. Right. The shenanigans, all the efforts to suppress the vote, to eliminate our voices. I think we're going to show up. It's what they have whatever mechanism the powerful have already put in place for the last 4 years. January 6th was just a rehearsal for what they're going to do next. So.
Yeah. Yay!
Hey, but now we know you can put up a fence that keeps a hurricane out. So you see that hospital. Keep out the people attacking the Capitol.
You could also nuke a hurricane. So that's fun.
That's true. Play the thing.
Let's start the thing and we'll do the thing and then we'll all cry. Here we go.
All right.
It's time for a Patti Melt with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez.
From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says,
And politicians getting caught grabbing asses.
She's melting down, it's a Patti Vasquez, Patti Melt.
Here we go.
Okay, so asked about the election, and I wasn't actually going to talk too much about politics because I'm exhausted. In many ways, I've been door knocking, and for folks, want to get involved, they're like, it's daunting to ring someone's doorbell and talk to somebody. And there are some crazy people out there, and I've mentioned that before. Is that my phone causing the problems? I can't tell.
I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to mute our friend Tim Kavanaugh because he's on here twice, and then we'll.
Oh, I am.
When it's his turn, I'm going to mute you, Tim. Let's see if that fixes it.
But here's the problem: I want to play guitar. What happens if I want to play guitar? Does that compete with my voice?
No, you go to Tim's house.
Oh, on my way. Let's go. At any rate, no, I'm exhausted in so many ways. I've gone door knocking, and so for folks who've never been door knocking, if you go for your first, it's amazing. You are going to go to doors where you already have friendly folks who agree with you for the most part. We're out there just reminding folks to vote. Do you have a voting plan? And as Brad pointed out, check your voter registration and make sure you're still on the list, that you're still on because they're playing games, and I can't use the words that Steve Goodie kind of alluded to because I want to say MFR. Did I say it? Pretended to. All right, fine. But that's all happening, and it's terrifying. And by the way, I want to say to my neighbors in Chicago, if anyone's listening, to my friends and neighbors who are putting up their Harris Wall signs, I am so jealous of you. Some of them are finding the most elegant ways to do it because it's a Halloween season. Some folks are putting up autumn fences around their houses and sort of booby trapping the whole thing because we if you know about Chicago, we basically all have the post stamp front lawns. They're exactly the same in front of our bungalows or our Dutch colonials or whatever. And I live on a block where there's one guy who I just don't want to hear it from. He's on social media all the time complaining about rainbow flags and DEI and CRT, even though he doesn't even, I don't even know if he knows the alphabet to even know what any of those words mean. what in the freaking frack? So, you know, one time, and I have one of those signs in front of our house that says, "In this house, we believe." If you're familiar, it says, "Women's rights are human rights," and all the things. Black Lives Matter, and he's like, "What does that mean anyway?" Black, and he wanted like, "You want to argue with me? You're not. By the way, just so you know, you're not arguing with me. You're just reminding me that you're a what words can I use? A jackhole. Is jackhole gonna say?
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
Fine. I don't even know what a jackhole is, but it sounds okay. What the freaking frack? Those are okay. That's fine.
Those are great.
Those are excellent. But he wants to get into an argument and say, "Look, I'm not here to argue. I'm here to convince you. You have low curiosity. You're not interested in knowing anything beyond what's in, like, just like, oh, why do they gotta? How come? Why are you so special?" I mean, like, I was thinking about this. When people come from a place of kindness and love, they don't get angry when people want to love or be themselves. If you're coming from a place of anger, everything sucks. And when you come from a place of kindness and love, the thing that sucks is hatred. Like, and I hate hatred. The thing I'm intolerant of is intolerance. That's Declan. Sorry, everybody. I'm home with Declan tonight. Just me and Deck. Usually it's me and Steve, and I'm cooking dinner. And but so let me just for a minute. We talked about this. Was it last week I told you that Griffin did not have an apartment?
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets an apartment like that night, and then tells us he's leaving to visit friends of his in Boston. Okay.
Great. When's classes?
They started today.
Well,
I don't see a problem.
Okay, so my favorite thing is this, right? We told him here's what's great about the dorms. You have you have the cafeteria, you have security, you have furniture, you have Wi-Fi, you have central air conditioning. I don't care that it's freaking Declan. I know it's very exciting. He's tapping and clapping. I don't care that it's only 75 degrees in Chicago today. It's humid and it gets trapped in your apartment. So we were there last night, and his apartment is so tiny. It is like the kitchen. It's not even a kitchen. It's not even a galley kitchen. It's a whisper of a kitchen. It's like, don't bother going in there because it's useless. But we're all three of us are in like a 2x5, maybe. I don't even 2x4. It's very a 2x4 is a piece of wood, isn't it? That's weird. I don't know. It was very narrow, and we're all in there, and he's mad because we brought. You know what I did? I went shopping, and I didn't go like. I knew he'd be mad if I spent money because this kid is obsessed with how much things cost. I don't know why, because not that I'm rich, but I have good credit, so I never made it seem like we were poor. I sweat a lot on like the 22nd day of the month. I'm like, I'm fine. But so I bought everything. Oh my God. At garage sales, at like thrift stores. I drove all over Chicago in the north suburbs, and this kid was in Boston the whole time, which is fine. That's fine.
Well, did he miss class?
No, it was today. He got back on Saturday.
Okay.
We moved him in yesterday, and he was like, "Where'd all this come? Where am I going to put this all?" And like it took us like 15 minutes to unwrap the dishes, to put his silverware away, to put it like to get him set up. And I can't get it. Like, and here, if he'd gone to school in Colorado, and I'm using that in a way to say like if he wanted to go to Yale, but he ended up at the University of Chicago. I mean, like what? And so what I'm saying is this kid's brilliant. He got a full ride. He could go anywhere he wanted. He stayed in Chicago because of his brother and because of us, which is fine. But if he was in Colorado or if he was in Connecticut, I'd be like, see ya, bye, good luck with that. But now Steve is on the Kennedy right now, like, he's not answering my phone call. I'm trying to bring him a fan because he's sweating in his apartment because there isn't central air conditioning. What the freaking frack? Okay.
But you're fine.
My son's brilliant and he's an idiot. That's all I'm saying.
Boy, he should be in this show.
So, but so what? My daughter's brilliant too. 160. They probably got 160 IQ, but that doesn't mean the laundry gets done correctly.
No.
The shirts are pink. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I can't with this. He's like, how do I get
Oh, Patty. Oh, dear.
I can't. I bought a dehumidifier today. It's so. I mean, I was dripping in sweat, and I was having a hot flash. So I was burning up externally and internally with everyone in a whisper of a kitchen. Is all I'm saying.
Patty, that might explain why on your hat your check engine light is on.
Now, wait a minute. Can he, when you mentioned food, he could still get a meal plan and not be in the dorms, can he?
He thinks the meal plans are a waste. By the way, I didn't even mention that. So he's lived his entire life in a house with an electric oven. Guess what kind of, stove? Guess what kind of stove they have?
Nuclear.
Yeah, he's got a gas stove. So I'm putting like CO2 monitors in all like
he's not paying for the meal plan. What?
I know. No, I know. But he gets a stipend. So if he can spend any way he wants, and he figures I just eat carrots and peanut butter every day. It's gonna get scurvy.
He eats carrots and peanut butter together?
He eats carrots and he eats peanut butter. I didn't say.
But does he dip the carrot in the peanut butter?
That sounds good, actually.
Then I'm fine with that. You dip a carrot in peanut butter, you don't get to go to college. That's all.
Yeah, that's why they threw me out.
Oh, so did you see this? The judge in Georgia struck down the abortion ban.
Yes.
Yeah. How about that?
Yes. It's very good.
I heard that the administration found a law that said is not being used, that doctors are required, no matter what ban is in any state, they're required to give emergency care to any woman. But I don't.
Well, that was the beginning of Roe v. Wade. They said they said, I don't know if it's an executive order, but they said that they would support. It was more of a support thing, that they would not have federal prosecution for doctors that provided care, regardless of the bans. So I don't know why we're so late on this. With
What
women.
about state prosecution, though?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess the point is the state's going to arrest them, put them through hell, then they get let go later, but they've been put in prison for making sure a woman doesn't die. And okay, well, hey, it's another great week in the States.
God bless America.
Well, moving to Edinburgh. We got a place. I'm glad Declan's there clapping and happy, though. That's nice.
Yeah. He was he was enjoying it in the background. Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah. So, what are you having for dinner?
Carrots and peanut butter.
He just finished a cheeseburger, actually, and he's asking. So.
Oh God, that sounds good. It sounds good.
All right. I'm making
a cheeseburger in so long. All right,
Yeah.
Patty.
Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
You made our lives good. All right.
Yes.
So,
now,
which Tim do we want?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to put one Tim. I'm going to remove one Tim.
Oh God, don't do that.
By one Tim. No, we have to.
No.
And I'm going to report him also.
You put the one Tim in the waiting room, though. You didn't.
No, because I don't want his Wi-Fi being spread around.
No, but you put him in the waiting room. You didn't just kick him off, did you?
No, I kicked him off. But hush. Tim, would you unmute yourself, please? And we will bring you in. It's going to be so great.
What if you picked the wrong Tim?
I got the right Tim. Look, it's the right
Hello?
Tim. Hi, Tim.
Hey.
Hello? Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear my guitar at all?
I can.
Yes.
OMG.
Computers. And
Fantastic.
Now I think I'm back in business.
Okay, now my theory is this is going to last 45 seconds, so I want you to do 10 songs in 45 seconds. Is that all right?
You got it.
And
now,
ladies and
let's go
gentlemen,
back to what's really going to happen. You're going to do the musical portion, and then, okay.
Here's what's really going to happen. First of all, I'm going to say, everybody, this is Tim Cavanaugh, musical genius, as high in my personal hierarchy as Weird Al Yankovic himself. I discovered him first on the Dr. Demento show. At the same time, I discovered Weird Al back in the early 80s or late 70s. And Tim is amazing and wants to be on this show, which is even more amazing.
And you stop with all of that.
I'd love to see you in Haywood wrestle.
He came to see me in Edinburgh in August.
I
Paid money
did.
to see my dumb show.
Wait a minute.
Bless
It
you.
was funny.
Tim.
You went to Edinburgh just to see Steve, or you're going there anyway?
Yeah, it's exactly. It was just to see me.
Just to see. Yeah, exactly.
Tim and I have a secret love we're gonna unveil tonight.
No, you're missing what I'm saying. He came to do other things, but was the impetus of coming to see you, and then he did other things.
Nobody was impetus.
I saw 2 other shows at Festival Fringe, and Steve, yours was my favorite. And thank you very much. You actually sang one of my songs to start off the show.
And Tim, I want to let you know, in the month that I was there, I had well over 24 audience members, and you were my favorite.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I knew that the crowds would get bigger as we went along.
You meant fatter. They ate more.
Yeah, the Americans showed up, and we all got
Americans showed up.
The Americans who've heard of Weird Al Yankovic.
Right. Hey, okay, so here's what's going to happen. Because you're so awesome, I'm going to play a little intro. You're going to do your first song. I have to answer it with a song that has something to do with it. Then you're going to do your second song. Then something else will happen, and you'll do your whole headlining set. But that's a separate thing.
Okay.
Got all that?
Yes, as long as
everybody cross your fingers that the Wi-Fi holds up. Here we go. Oops, I screwed it up again. Hold on. Wasn't really ready. Too excited. I wet myself a little bit. Okay, here we go.
It's our musical guest. Our musical guest. Gonna sing something funny and then Steve will play something in between. Our musical guest. Our musical guest. It's time for our musical guest.
The great, incredible, and awesome Tim Cavanaugh.
Thank you. Thank you. Here is song number 1. Here we go. Got into a fight with my wife. It turned really ugly. She called me names, said them loud, sometimes snotty, sometimes smugly. She called the lawyer, told me to leave. I can't believe this has happened to me. Now I'm living in my SUV. Don't want to live in my SUV. That's how this one goes, guys. Okay, here we go. I stay in the parking lot at Best Buy, though I'm not a buyer. I bathe in their men's room sink, then squat beneath the hand dryer. And all her friends feel sorry for her, though I'm the one living in a Ford Explorer. Now I'm living in my SUV, don't want to live in my SUV. A guy in a Kia lives next to me. I want to live in my SUV. That guy brought home an STD. Don't want to live in my SUV. Now he uses the same sink as me. Don't want to live in my SUV. I had a house for 22 years. Now I'm left with an old cassette of Tears for Fears. Now I'm living in my SUV. Don't want to live in my SUV. Everybody wants to rule the world. The irony of that is I just want my girl. Now I'm living in my SUV. Don't want to live in my SUV. And I cannot crochet. Don't want
Yeah!
Awesome. Crochet.
It's a special night, and we're just getting started with Tom Petty parody. I'm going to parody the same song and do my song that's about Tom himself. I wrote this long before he died, so at the time it wasn't too mean. Now it seems cruel because the man is gone. But let's get back to the 90s when I came up with this. We come from monkeys, we all know it. We don't talk too much about it. Ain't no real big secret. We came down from the trees and now we're grounded. Tommy, you have got some really big teeth, buddy. I believe you got thumbs on your feet. And you know that you look like a chimpanzee. No, that you look like a chimpanzee. Who knows? forgot the rest of it.
That's enough.
You
Yay.
remember it.
Is that enough? All right, that's enough. Let's go back to Tim Cavanaugh, who's awesome.
I love that. Oh, I am such a sucker for chimpanzee jokes. This song, this is a song that I kind of teased online because I said that I was going to do a new song tonight, a song that I had not finished until this afternoon. So please bear with me. I'm going to see what I can do in terms of singing it, and I am going to have to cheat a little bit with lyrics, but here we go. I am a cowboy, strong, independent, and proud. I live my life my way. I never follow the crowd. But when I start drinking, that's when I stop thinking. My brain ends up swimming in booze. My judgment's obscured because I've been overserved. Go and find love in our local zoo. Cowboys, don't let your babies grow up to be llamas. Llamas are ugly and stinky for sure. Nobody wants to scoop up their manure. Cowboys, don't let your babies grow up to be llamas. They look dumb in pajamas at the Swaporama. They hate the Bahamas, it's Guam they prefer. I really messed up choosing a lover that night. A lonely llama was the baby mama. The whiskey impaired my eyesight. I raised my llama boy, my pride and joy, to be the best llama around. But one night that llama created some drama. Got drunk in a pet shop on the edge of town. Llamas, don't let your babies grow up to be turtles. Turtles have hurdles, they are born slow. Their rate is probably as far as they'll go. Llamas, don't let your babies grow up to be turtles. Their one saving grace is they've got living space. They just pull their heads in and voila, they're home. My granddaughter Myrtle, part llama, part turtle. Her the most, but I pray she's infertile. Only way to stop insanity, ladies and gentlemen.
Good job.
That was
Tim.
great.
Good job.
You know what would make this 10 times better?
What would make this 10 times better?
If we bought Tim a camera and a microphone. I think if we just got
I think he's doing just fine with the smoke signals. It's wonderful.
Yes,
Now, this is so weird because this happened last week, and we're going to do it again, if you'll indulge me, because once again, I have another parody of the same song.
Oh, great.
This was from way back before we all hated J.K. Rowling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those wizards are easy to love, but some of them ain't. Most of them are tons of fun, but some's a big pain. Great big old egos and cold evil eyes. You can't trust a thing that they say. If his name is Draco and he's walking by, you turn and you just walk away. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be Malfoys.
That's right.
Don't let them be nasty or snotty or smug. let them be Potters and Hagrids and such. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be Malfoys. Don't let them think that they run everything just because of their old wizard blood.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to vote Republican.
Buck Owens will be proud.
You
I
went
don't know
there.
the
Buck
chords.
Owens.
Yes.
Did he write it?
That was
I don't know.
super.
And the Buckaroos.
Good
It was
job,
great.
guys.
I thought that was Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson sang it.
Yeah,
Willie
sang
Nelson
it, but he didn't write it. No.
And Waylon
Mm.
Jennings.
Yeah, well, yeah. it
All
was-
right.
Oh, Willing Jennings. Okay.
And he did
Yeah,
the first
both of them
verse.
together.
Wow.
Great
Learn something
minds,
new every day.
That's what I've been
area
listening
alike.
to.
This is the most
get
incredible
history
night.
on this show.
Wow.
All right,
This is-
now,
this is unbelievable.
Area alike.
guess
Yeah.
what's going to happen?
Now what's going to happen, Tim, is I'm going to run a thing introducing our headliner. It's going to be you.
And you have to do another 10 minutes.
Dude, I'm so tired of him. Come on.
We want it all to be Waylon Jennings song. So here we go.
Go.
It's time for our big headliner. Got some funny jokes to say. Oh, do a 10-minute set headliner. Man, I'm so glad that it's Monday. Yeah.
Kavanaugh again.
Yay! Since we did all the parody, okay, here's a little throwaway thing that I've never ever said out loud. Safari away. Why don't people write good parodies anymore? That's just for Carol King fans and me. So anyway, for my segment, this is so exciting because I don't usually get to be a headliner segment guy. Here's what I'm going to do. As Steve suggested earlier, I'm going to do some stuff I do on Bob and Tom, and this is a Tim Cavanaugh's Cavalcade of Celebrity Birthdays, and this is the October edition, and prepared just for the virtual comedy show. All right, so these are some of my favorite celebrities who are celebrating birthdays, and so with the month of October on us, it gives you a chance to see who you're going to be sending gifts to. All right. First, born on the exact same date are Ike Turner and Art Garfunkel, two men who would not be very famous except for their talented partners, Paul Simon of Simon and Garfunkel and Mike of Mike and Ike. Turning 57 this week is musician Keith Urban, who ironically never gets played on urban radio stations. That's weird, isn't it?
That's so weird.
Actor David Schwimmer is 58 this month. When asked how he landed the role of Ross on Friends, he said, "Well, it all began when I turned out to be a faster swimmer than my father's other sperms."
Oh, yeah.
Or semen, if you prefer.
Yes, I definitely prefer.
All right. Celebrating her 16th birthday is actress Sunny Sandler. According to her IMDb page, she's been featured in 7 films, all of them alongside her father, Adam Sandler, in what we used to call home movies. Nowadays, you get your own IMDb page. The world's highest paid model, Kendall Jenner, is turning 29. Her success should come as no surprise given her genetics. I mean, she's got her mother's good looks, her father's athleticism, and her new mother's ability to wear high heels even though she still has men's feet.
Yes.
Too late. That one's too late. Celebrating birthday number 78 is Sally Field. The Oscar-winning actress has osteoporosis, which is bad enough, but the cruelty she experiences every time a fellow actor tells her to break a leg is heartbreaking. I had no problem with the sperm joke. It's Sally Field. You know, we like her. We really like
Treasure.
her.
You like her.
All right. Actress Lucy Liu turns 58 this month. She's left-handed and is nicknamed Lefty Lucy Liu, which means if you're making love to her, you should do it counterclockwise, just like any other screw.
They're awful blue for the Tim Kavanaugh. Look at that.
It was. It is. It
Plus,
is.
why would we want Lefty Lucy in this case? You're welcome.
Righty is a tighty.
Back to Lucy Liu. Okay, this is a true story. I think it's a true story. When she was in college, she worked as a waitress at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, where I worked so often. I'm sure I met her. She'd probably remember me because of the surefire opening line I had for the waitresses. I'd say, "Hi, could you give me a water and a Diet Coke?"
Smooth.
No mention of screwing at all in that part. Condoleezza Rice turned 70 this month. She's the answer to the trivia question, which former Secretary of State goes best with Condoleezza chicken? Okay. You're beginning to understand these are all puns, and that's why you're all groaning now.
That's a good one.
All right, this is not going to stop me. Celebrating birthday number 80 this month is actor Danny DeVito. 40 years ago, I love Danny DeVito. 40 years ago, he was in bed with his then girlfriend Rhea Perlman. He suddenly felt a gun to his head. It was Rhea's father who said to DeVito, "Well, mister, it looks to me like you've got two choices. You either marry my daughter Rhea, or I'll kill you right here. So what's it gonna be? Die or Rhea?"
I saw that one coming.
At which point, Danny's bowels erupted right on cue. That's how good it happened. Did that save it at all?
No, it's perfect.
Perfect.
Dennis Wilson, one of the founding members of the legendary Beach Boys, would have been 80 also this week. Dennis drowned at age 39 and was remembered by his fellow band members with this moving tribute song. Drown, drown, getting drowned. I'm getting drowned. I'm getting drowned. I'm getting drowned. That's too soon.
Life to party. It can't be found. That's fun.
I like it. See, you've always got good rhymes. Born this week back in 1854 was John Philip Sousa, the man who wrote Stars and Stripes Forever. The prolific composer of patriotic songs died on March 6, 1932, which is now known as Sousa's Unfinished March.
Good.
That one's true.
Clever.
Jeff, I love you. Okay. That's a shout out to my Jeff, who knows everything about
everything.
Okay. Singer Bonnie Raitt celebrates her 75th birthday this month. In 1991, she released the hit single, I Can't Make You Love Me If You Don't, a song that sure rang true back then. Today, of course, we have roofies. 100, I should go faster with these. 132 years ago this week, Supreme Court Justice Felix Frankfurter was born. He was considered a giant of American jurisprudence. So for those of you who thought Steph Curry was the biggest hot dog ever on the court, you were wrong. It was Felix Frankfurter. In legal circles, Frankfurter and Justice Warren Burger are often referred to as the picnic bench. Oh God, I can't believe I've made a living at this. Okay.
I want a list of the people who've paid you. Wait, that's us.
You make a living doing birthdays?
We paid him?
Yes, I do. Yes. Because have you checked out my Cameo page? Or I'll make a special video for your No, I don't do that. Okay. Because I'm a prostitute, but not that bad. Okay. Here is a joke. I shouldn't even preface this, but Tom Griswold of Bob and Tom heard me do this joke, and he said, "I think that's the best joke you've ever written." Now, he's wrong about that. But here's the joke, and it's a little bit of a stretch. Okay. In 1887, Chiang Kai-shek, who ruled China for 47 years, was born. He first gained notoriety as a military leader who famously dismissed all the cowards from his military. In fact, he was the first one to call General Tso chicken and eventually ordered him to go. That's my favorite part.
And he left immediately. Kung Pao. That was it.
Yeah, I wish I could think of one Chinese food joke at this point. Okay,
you can add that.
And now a special haiku poem to honor one of today's celebrities. Blurring the line between comedy and tragedy, Randy Quaid. He's nuts. Happy 71st birthday. I hope this is finally. Is this finally? Yes, it is. Finally, fashion designer Calvin Klein is celebrating birthday number 82 this week. He's currently suing a competitor for trademark infringement. His popular CK body spray is being confused with a new product called Louis CK body spray. It's a different kind of body spray.
Oh, no.
No.
I guess, do kids watch this? Kids don't watch this.
Nobody watches this. You're fine.
Nobody watches this. What are you talking about?
All right, so that's the end of that. And there's another little bit I could get into, but I think we're probably over time.
I don't know. What do you think?
So what happened?
I don't know. We all hit the button at the same time. You know how it is.
There it is.
I got it.
Now bring yourself in.
Hello.
That was fantastic. That was worth every.
That was great, Jeff.
Yeah, that was super. That was one of the best things ever. You should
especially
do that every week.
I was just thinking we should do that every week. If people would donate more money, so we could get him his usual $12.
That's right.
We would do this every.
Wow, that's a raise. That is.
I know.
Yeah, you do this every week. You could make $1.50. I'm not kidding.
Would be amazing.
Well,
I can get that. I can get you $4.37.
Well, actually, you can only do it once a month, right? You do it once a month, right?
Now that I'm older and I'm on a fixed income, I get my Social Security money, and that's about it. And so $12.
Wait, you're on the road. You're working, aren't you working?
I'm going to Sizzler. Yeah, I am. I am still working. Working, and it will be coming to a town near you. Actually, I can announce this.
Yes.
My good friend Emo Phillips, Emo.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He and I are going to be doing a two-man show. Well, okay. He's doing a club called Helium in Indianapolis and another club called Helium, same thing, in St. Louis. And those dates are November, watch this, November 6th and 7th in Indianapolis on a Wednesday night, Thursday night in St. Louis. Tim Cavanaugh and Emo Phillips. Friday and Saturday of that weekend, Emo Phillips and Tim Cavanaugh will be at Mason City Limits in Mason City, Illinois. It's a really cute little club, and it's really a lot of fun. And it's one of Emo's favorite places and one of mine too. So that will be a great show. And that is November 8th and 9th. So so I'm still out there working, but feel free to check me out online.
And Tim, I'm sorry, I was trying to write it down. What was the name of the first club you mentioned?
Helium.
Oh, I love that club.
My favorite too.
Thank you, Tim. Man,
why didn't I spend some money on balloons? Why did I not? You know what? I didn't think this
everywhere. All right,
Tim, you're the man. Thank you so very much.
Thanks for saving us. By the way, we'd like to announce after Tim goes. Can you find him?
Yep. Thanks, Tim.
that we'd like to tell Stephanie Hodge to stop working so much.
Yeah, hello.
She's on set, and they would not let her. She's on set for a I don't know if she said it was TV or a movie. I can't remember. Because as you know, she's the most famous person we've ever had on the show.
Well, second most. We got Tim Cavanaugh.
Stephanie Hodge is the most famous person we've ever had on the show.
Yes.
And she said they would not let her be on this show tonight because she was in a trailer on set. So
Tim stepped up and
Tim stepped up and did the whole show. So I think that is phenomenal.
And this is off the record, but who needs Stephanie Hodge? I did not say that.
No, we didn't. Stephanie, we're gonna love to see you again.
Yes, we are. Hey, let's beg for some money. How about?
How about another dumb song from Steve for no reason?
Oh, okay. Hang on. I got it. I forgot that I was supposed to do this, but actually, I'm ready for this. You ready? Here's tonight's dumb song for no reason. It's called "Let's Beg for Money."
Brad begs for money. Hey, we need your money. We don't charge a cover for a 2-drink minimum, so what did you expect, Jack?
Brad?
It's the wrong person.
Okay. It's the wrong person. There's the right person.
We're broke. We need your cash. Patty's kid keeps spending money. And then giving it back. It's time to go. Get the dough.
Oh my God.
I just bought a hot tub. It was $9,000 and I can't afford it. Okay, no. Ladies and gentlemen, go to virtualcomedyshow.com and donate to the comedians just for what Tim Cavanaugh did tonight. I think.
Yes.
Everybody out there in Facebook world that watches this, we have just in Facebook world alone 300-400 people, sometimes thousands, and you know how many of them donate?
None.
Yeah, well, close to none. So anyway, so go to virtualcomedyshow.com and donate, and I'll buy a shirt that doesn't open up grossly like that. I can go to virtualcomedyshow.com and we will add a room to that apartment in Chicago. We'll add that.
Hey, yeah, it's a great idea.
Can we add out the window? Is there a Patty? Is there like a fire escape or something?
Yes, Brad, there is.
All right, so there you go. We can add something to the fire escape.
Window it.
Window. What floor is it on?
Second floor.
So he just jumped to his death if there's a fire. Fantastic. So that's great. Donate to virtualcomedyshow.com and we'll get an emergency ladder for that kid.
That's fantastic.
So what else are we going to do? I guess there's only...
We're going to wrap up this show is what we're going to do.
We're going to wrap up the show because we're in a minute. Okay, wrap it up.
Time for the worst joke of the week.
Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke.
Boo! That was the worst joke ever.
Some weeks it's hard to pick.
This week is the worst story of the week. A panda disappeared from its enclosure at a zoo in China, and zookeepers couldn't find it anywhere. And then at the end of the day, it showed back up in its enclosure like it never left. It did this. It would do this. Actually, it was over. It would leave in the evening and come back in the morning. It did this many days. Finally, it was such a quandary. They put cameras everywhere to see how it was escaping. Then one night they followed it because they knew it was escaping. Followed it as it climbed a fence and went into the woods, only to find the panda in a cave about a mile away. In a cave, the keeper who was in charge of the panda wondered why the panda would come to this cave, and then was surprised when the panda said, "I'm not just a dragon warrior, I'm also Batman."
And there is an X in escape. Good night, everybody.
That was the virtual comedy show. We learned a lot of stuff we didn't need to know, like there's no X in espresso. That's what you get when you watch this show. Fascinating, isn't it? We have a lot of fun at the virtual comedy show. It's better than sitting home playing with your toes or going to the dump to watch stuff decompose. Keep coming back to the virtual comedy show. We hope you enjoy the virtual comedy show. You don't have to dress up, no, 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 no. You can be like Brad and go commando every month. Monday, it's the Virtual Comedy Show. See you Monday at the Virtual Comedy Show. It's at www.virtualcomedyshow.com.